Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bulletin News. I'm Marcus Jefferson, your host and publisher of the Michigan Bulletin newspaper. And today we have Marilyn Rogers. She has been with the Juneteenth committee for what, 31 years?
32.
32 years. And we're here to talk about some exciting events that are upcoming in June. Actually, we've got an action, fun-filled week from June the 14th to June the 21st. But before we get into the lineup and all that stuff, I run across a lot of young people, and I asked them, I say, do you know what Juneteenth is? And you get this blank look. So I want you to run it down, and so we can play this over and over again so people will know what Juneteenth is all about.
I would be happy to, and thank you, Marcus, and the Michigan Bulletin for the opportunity to be here to share Juneteenth here in Lansing in the region and how it all happened and why it started here. So let's go do a little bit of a timeline as it relates to Juneteenth. So let's back up to January 1, 1863. I think everybody knows that's the day of the Emancipation Proclamation as announced by President Abraham Lincoln, releasing all slaves from bondage in the Confederacy. So that is a big part. So, however, with the Civil War still being fought, no slaves were actually freed. Okay, so then we move up to the year 1865, April 9th, the Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to the Union General Ulysses S. Grant. And when that happened in Virginia, effectively ending the Civil War. However, on June 18th, 1865, General Gordon Granger arrives in Galveston, Texas, with 2,000 federal colored troops to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. That, of course, that the slaves are indeed free. So on June 19th, 3 was read to the public, ending slavery. Day has come to be known as Juneteenth Day because it happened on June 19th, 1865. So that is the beginning of Juneteenth as we know it today. On June 19th, 1866, the first official celebrations took place in Galveston and other Texas towns, or cities around the state of Texas. So there you have the timeline, the history, but a few comments. So what happened with Texas is that, again, due to the Civil War, it took 2.5 years for the news to travel, of course, that the Emancipation Proclamation had been issued, but it was ignored by the Confederacy because, of course, they were trying to keep their economic development using enslaved people for their economic good, and they didn't want that to end. So this is some of the stories that we've heard, the bylines as to why it took so long for Texas to recognize that the Emancipation Proclamation was issued, but yet ignored. So again, we have the celebration, the General Order Number 3 being read as a reaffirmation to the Emancipation Proclamation by General Gordon Granger. With that, many don't know that the enforcements and the backup were the U.S. colored troops coming in off of the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. So we continue to learn more and more each day, and that's why we say Juneteenth is about education as well as celebration.
Now, one of the other places where we've been doing this for a long time is Michigan. Michigan is in Lansing particular.
Yes.
We were at the forefront in this Juneteenth celebration, along with a guy by the name of Mike Murphy. Can you talk about the history of Juneteenth in Michigan and how we got out there and made it a state holiday long before the national?
Yes, I can. So it brings back memories. Myself, along with, at that time, State Representative Michael Murphy. He was the head of the Michigan Legislative Black Caucus. So along with him and some of the legislators, and then Governor Granholm at the time, Senator Martha Scott, and also the Senate leader at that time, were all working effectively to get Juneteenth legislation moved. So after hearings in the Senate, which I was able to speak to and testify on the Juneteenth legislation with Senator Martha Scott, which was a high privilege of my lifetime with Juneteenth, but that set things in motion for us to be able to move forward. So after the legislation was passed, the last leg in the Senate, we were able to share that with Governor Granholm, and she certainly was in agreement, and that legislation was signed back in 2005. So we've captured that history. And Mike Murphy was certainly a mover and shaker in Lansing, so he, as a pastor, as a community leader, and as a state representative. So he was awesome and so helpful with us in the movement to get Juneteenth to be recognized as a state holiday.
Yeah, Mike was good people. What year was that when Michigan became officially a Juneteenth celebrating state?
Well, we went through some phases. So as I just was mentioning, the first legislation signed into Michigan law was back in 2005 under Jennifer Granholm, then our governor at that time. And since then, we've had some other legislation that has resurfaced that kind of uniquely defines Juneteenth as Juneteenth Day, June 19th, a day in Michigan by Governor Whitmer. So that happened back in 2023. And so as of the national federal legislation that was signed by President Biden on June 18th, can we exit that out? So on behalf of the legislation that was signed by President Biden back on June 18th, 2021 was the official signing of the national legislation for the Juneteenth holiday. And I'd like to go one step further to say who spearheaded the effort, in addition to the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation, which the Lansing Celebration Committee is a part of. Miss Opal Lee is the grandmother of Juneteenth. She paid a visit to us in Lansing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember that visit?
Yeah.
It was so special. She was so honored to be here, and we hosted her, and she had an opportunity to meet with Mayor Shore and our committee and some of the other Juneteenth celebration committees in our area. So it was a special time for us to recognize Juneteenth in Lansing and what it meant to us to be able to work on the national campaign that Juneteenth became a national holiday. And I just want to remind people that we haven't had a national holiday of this magnitude since the M.L. King Jr. Day, which was adopted in 1983. So it's been a long time, long in coming, but we are thankful for the national recognition of Juneteenth as a federal national holiday.
Well, I'm really glad that we finally got that done, because we've had it here in Michigan for so many years, and to have it on a national level is great.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Marcus, because it was a challenge. It was a long road. The Lansing Juneteenth Committee was formed back in 1993. It came to us from a member at Mass Memorial Church, which a lot of our members were part of the first committee. And Mr. Gordon Haskins celebrated Juneteenth because he reigned from Texas and relocated here to Michigan. So actually, I saw a picture of him and family members in 1954 telling me that they were celebrating Juneteenth and they were at Lake Lansing.
Wow.
So isn't that amazing? And so it was with his effort to his dying day that Juneteenth be celebrated here in Lansing, here in the state of Michigan. So we have been a long road coming since those days, those early humble days of recognizing Juneteenth until now, and we're in our 32nd year. We have members, my family has been original members since the day of exception, but we've had wonderful people come and go, joining the committee, now a nonprofit organization called Peers, Progressive Empowerment Education Resource Services, and we do promote the goal of Juneteenth, which is to educate and celebrate here in the community.
Matter of fact, there's some other things that you do leading up to this fabulous event, and some of it's fundraising, some of it's scholarships. Can you just give us a little bit of background on those?
I certainly can. So again, Juneteenth is part of education, and so we like to recognize that and teach children at an early age what is Juneteenth and ultimately what does it mean to you. So about 20 years ago, we had an educator felt that it was a great idea to have a contest or a competition amongst the young people where they would be rewarded with scholarships and prizes to learn more about their self-history. And so we've had the essay competition and scholarship awards for about that length of time. And this year, we're happy to announce, each year we give it a program title of educators here in our local area. So this year, we're honored to introduce the program as the doctors Eugene and I want to say Nana Cain, but it's Maxine Cain, as we all know her.
Yeah.
Educators here in Lansing for years, and so the essay competition and scholarship is named on their behalf this year.
Oh, that's great.
It's an honor.
When Dr. Cain was over at Michigan with the Edison project, I actually worked for him, and my son actually went to the school.
Oh, awesome. So Lansing was just a wonderful thing when the Cains came to Lansing. I know he was well missed in Detroit where the Edison Project started, but it's been our benefit and it's been our gain here for Lansing. And so we are just honored to be able to honor our contest. And so again, young people will learn about Juneteenth. They'll learn from people such as the Cains that they can be rewarded for knowing their history and how it will benefit them in their futures.
So how much are the scholarships worth, and how many do you give out?
Well, I'm going to say for that detailed information, we definitely have to engage the website. I will say that the students who are in the high school level, the graduating seniors, are subject to the scholarship program, which is hosted and awarded by Olivet University. Yep. So we cannot thank Olivet enough for doing that, and they've done it now for, I want to say the last 5 years or so. The first graduating University of Olivet student from the Juneteenth awards program graduated this year. She's been there 4 years. She was a recipient of the Juneteenth essay and scholarship competition, and she's going to be one of our speakers this year at our kickoff on Wednesday, June 18th, and we will be at the Lansing Community College in the Michigan Room in the Gannon building. So it is a wonderful kickoff celebration acknowledging these wonderful students who took the time to learn a little bit more about Juneteenth, to be educated, and now they're going to be rewarded. And we have a special keynote speaker, none other than our own Senator Sarah Anthony is going to be with us and share some great words of expressions. We're so proud of her. She's homegrown.
Oh,
and
yes.
she will have the
Matter
opportunity.
Of fact, she was on the show last week.
Awesome. We can't say enough great things about Senator Anthony, and we're looking forward to her message on June 18th. At 6 o'clock at Lansing Community College. We'll be in the Gannon building and again in the Michigan Room, so it's one not to miss. We are so excited about just the talent that we have right here in Lansing, and it'll be expressed and well seen on that night.
Well, let's do this, because the events start June 14th all the way to June 21st. So let's kind of recap that, and we'll make sure to put that on the television screen as well.
Okay. So we're going to start our lineup. So as you've indicated, June 14th is our annual ball game for Juneteenth, and it's a tribute to the Negro Leagues. We have 4 teams coming out of the city of Detroit to play and to emulate some of the ball game, the black players of the day back in the 1920s. So it's a joy to learn more about the Negro Leagues and what they represented, the time and the culture. And so we're looking forward to just that. So come and join us at noon at the Benjamin Davis Park here in Lansing. We'll have more information about who those key teams are and certainly share that with you. So we're so excited that they would come to Lansing to share those talents, to have a ball game of great fun and bring the crowd with them. And so we want Lansing to be represented as well, and just to see this as a sport in the time frame that it was done back in the day, in the 1920s, the hardships that were faced, but the joy and the jubilance of the game.
All right, the next day. What we got going on?
We're still
next day?
rolling. So I did omit one thing that I want to share with you. The Juneteenth 5K Run, Walk, Roll will also take place. That director is Ramon Brunson. He'll be at Benjamin Davis Park at 8:30 to get the day started. So if you're an early bird and you want to do any of those things, run, walk, roll, then join us at 8:30 at Benjamin Davis Park, and we'll get you warmed up. You'll be ready and exuberant for the game. And then the next opportunity that we're going to get together is on Juneteenth Day, June 19th. And again, we can't say enough that we're excited to be with Mayor Shore. We're going to be downtown Lansing at the City Hall flagpole, where the mayor will host up the Juneteenth flag. We have a special ceremony again with us. It's sharing the history. It's also sharing the celebration. We're going to present a wall of expression called the Freedom Wall. We're going to talk about that a little bit as we talk about Juneteenth. You're going to hear the General Order Number 3, and you're going to be able to get a sense of what the freed people at that time felt when they heard General Order Number 3 and about their freedom. So we're looking forward to that celebration. Juneteenth Flag Day in Lansing. It's our second annual. Again, join us on Juneteenth Day, which this year is Thursday, the 19th, and we'll be at the Lansing City flagpole with the mayor, with some of our community leaders, and some of our civic leaders. So we certainly look forward to that as kicking off our Juneteenth Day in Lansing. Now, what I'm going to do is add a couple of things. As we know, Lansing is the leader, and of course, we have been the primary source behind Juneteenth. But in our region, Juneteenth is kicking off as well in Reeltown on that day in the evening. So if you want to do something, you have some opportunities, look them up. It's the 517 Juneteenth weekend hosted by Mikey Austin. I also want to say, as we move forward, Delta Township has some really wonderful things going on with Juneteenth, and I believe their date is the 17th. So double check me on that, but you can go to their referenced website. Also, go to the Delta Township website and the Juneteenth link. You'll find out more. So what I'm excited about is the Lansing Juneteenth celebration. In addition to the Juneteenth celebrations around our region are strong. This year we've spread out. We're not all on the same day, so that you can enjoy Juneteenth in the mid-Michigan region here in the Lansing area practically all month of those last 2 months, the last 2 weeks of the month of June right here.
Yeah, matter of fact, I saw something and I said, this is new. And a friend of mine was telling me about it. He said, yeah, we got a car show and it's different years and all these different segments that are going to be going on. Tell me a little bit more about the car show.
Oh, we're excited about the car show, and it's a dream and a vision of one of our members. And we said, if you can see it, let's do it. And so the Lansing Juneteenth Celebration Car Show is going to be hosted within Saturday, June 21st, during the Juneteenth celebration. So it's going to start about 9 o'clock, where you can register online at our website. There will be trophies for 4 categories. Those categories are the 1900s to 1959, the 1960s to 1979, the 1980s to 1990, $99, and then $2,000 to the present. So those are the categories of judging. It's going to be a great time. We're looking forward to being able to see from the classics to the current, the proud owners of those vehicles. So certainly, please feel free to, if you want to register your vehicle, go to our website, the Lansing Juneteenth Celebration. .org website and go to additional events, and you'll find the registration portion where you can register for the car show. And if you want to be an observer, come on out. They'll be there exhibiting up until 4 o'clock, and that's where the announcement of the awardees were going to be done from the stage. So we're just excited about the Juneteenth Car Show, and for those who are presenting those vehicles. As we know, Lansing is automobile city of the world, with, of course, all the big three. And so we're really looking forward to that. And we want to thanks for some of our consultants from the Ariels Museum.
Now, is there any cost associated with the registration?
There is a cost associated with the registration. I want to say day of, I believe, is $35. Pre-registration is $30. And so you want to do it as soon as possible. We only have the capacity for 40 slots. And so those are going to fill up fast. So as you know, some of those vehicles may be coming in also from the parade route that the parade starts on Saturday morning. I just want to make sure I'm not advancing myself too much, but we're going to certainly tell you about the parade as well. So if we're still moving right along.
Because now we got to talk about the lineup and the tribute to the Quincy Jones. We got to get into the meat and potatoes and the talent show that Juneteeth is doing
There we
this year.
go. And so that's on Friday. And so we're going to start right there on Friday, June 20th in the afternoon, St. Joe Park. We're going to open up at 4 p.m. We're going to open up strong. We've got Josh Gillespie. He's got a set of pipes you wouldn't believe, a voice that's magnetic. And so he's going to get us rolling with important information, with music, and he's going to hold it down until DJ Big Man Genesis comes at 6 o'clock for the Juneteenth Got Talent showcase, and it's going to be for young people from the ages of 13 to 18. We're going to have more details about that, certainly coming from DJ Genesis Terrell. And we're really excited about that. When we talked about the collaboration of that, he says, I got it. I think we could do this. And I thought, wow, that sounds great. It's going to attract families, young people. Let them showcase their talent. Sometimes we just don't give them the time and the space to do what they want to do. So we're going to allow for that on Friday. Also, we're going to have a performance by a dance troupe that's going to open up the stage. And so I want to thank Shamika Best, who's coming with the Best Academy of Dancers. And so they're going to light it up. They're going to come on at 5:30 as a prelude to Genesis opening up the showcase for Juneteenth's Got Talent.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Friday. That's going to how we're going to do it. And it's going to energize us for Saturday morning. So hold on to your hats, everybody. But Saturday morning, you have to be at J.W. Sexton High School for the beginning of the African American Parade.
Yeah.
And this is the parade that was handed down from Reverend Michael C. Murphy, the former state representative and pastor at the St. Stephen's Church. So that was handed down when their foundation was not able to continue it in its legacy. So it did dwindle for a couple of years, but some of the board founders came to the Juneteenth committee and said, hey, you all are consistent. You've never missed a Juneteenth celebration. We would like you to keep it moving, and with our help, we were going to do that. So we did, and we were encouraged. The very first one, we were blessed to receive the family of the late Michael C. Murphy. They came from different parts of the South here in Lansing, and so we were just blessed, and it's certainly a memory that's ingrained with us with photos at our website.
Yeah, matter of fact, I was on that original committee.
Were you?
Actually, it was mirrored after the Bud Billiken parade when the kids would be coming back to school. That's what we modeled it after.
Right?
But we're glad that it got picked up because, like you said, it dwindled a little while, and now it's full strong. Not quite the back-to-school thing, but it's still got that same concept of getting our people together and celebrating things.
I agree. So our goal and our vision is, we know we're started downtown, right?
Yeah.
So when we get too big for the community, and the route is not extensively long, it's like 8 blocks to St. Joseph Park where we land. However, the vision is big, and when we see ourselves back downtown, sometimes in the future, we hope that that's where we will be.
That would be great.
It would be a great thing, and certainly in honor of what Mike Murphy started. So on that note, I just want to say that our parade director is Calvin Jones, and we know that he is the Director of Governmental Affairs and Community Relations at the Lansing Board of Water and Light.
Who's got his hands real full today.
He's got his hands very full today. As we know, some of the parts of our city do not have power due to the traumatic storm. It was a thunderstorm and a tornado watch, and it looked like it kind of did, drop down in the Lansing area. So we've got some areas of devastation, and so Kelvin is on duty, but he is wholeheartedly here as he wants to remind me to do a couple of things. So in honor of this year's celebration, I want to announce our grand co-marshals of the African American Parade. So clap, clap, clap to Dr. Willie Davis, a staple here in the Lansing community, certainly worthy of praise. He brings us the All Around the African World Museum. He's brought us history and culture at our universities at LCC and Davenport. So if you don't know Dr. Davis, you don't know Lansing, right?
You're right about that.
And the other person we can't thank enough is the former principal, Daniel Bogan III, is serving as our second co-Grand Marshal for this year. He's been so helpful with us dealing with the parade over the years as principal, as Coach Bogan from the mighty J.W. Sexton High School here in Lansing. So we have a lot of, the big three, but Sexton being part of that, Lansing School District. We can't say enough great things about them, but is going to serve as our Grand Marshal, and well deserved. So we like to push people up that have done so much. And marshals certainly have a background with youth and children.
That's great.
So we can't be excited enough. So let me tell you, that's where you need to be, J.W. Sexton High School on Saturday morning, the 21st. We're going to step off at 11 o'clock a.m. It's going to be well attended, as well as the participation is growing at a fast pace. So if you want to be in the parade, you need to sign up at our website, the Lansing Juneteenth Celebration.org website. It's at the homepage. So again, we're excited to step off. We've got great people. Kelvin leads the way with the support of our team. And the route is also on the website, but leaving Sexton and circling around Michigan Avenue, Jefferson, coming back down Lenawee and working our way back to St. Joseph Park. So you'll be able to, friends and neighbors, the West Side Neighborhood Association has been wonderful receiving us, so that we know that some streets will be blocked off, and you'll be made aware of that because it's posted certainly through our city news as well as their neighborhood news. And we just want to make people aware of the affected route. So don't plan on driving, but plan on coming down to see the parade that starts at Sexton, ends at St. Joseph Park, where the grand stage will be opening shortly after that. So I wanted to definitely mention just the thank yous. The Lansing Police Department leads us off with the motorcycle unit. We are forever grateful, and it ends with the Lansing Fire Department making sure that we're in order, and they are the tail end. But in between, we've got some great things happening. Of course, in addition to our mayor being present, we just learned that the Michigan's 102nd colored infantry as they emulate ceremonies. You're going to hear more about that. But they're a special group dear to our heart, keeping Michigan history alive during what happened during the Civil War period. So we're honored to have them as part of our celebration of the parade.
That's great.
We've got some young dancers that are going to be with us, the Dazzling Diamonds. They were with us last year. Some civic organizations, so we want to thank the Masons. Some of the other groups that are some of the Divine Nine, some of the fraternities and the sororities who are going to march and be with us and share their attributes. Their goodness and kindness to what they do, and what a lot of what they do is certainly lift up children through their scholarship programs. They've volunteered for us over the years with our registration, so we do want to just shout out and say thank you to them. But there's so many important parts of the parade, and we're so thankful that all of the groups that want to be there feel that they're there to help celebrate. We couldn't do it without our sponsors, so we want to say thank you to them. And there's so many to number, but just a few that are parade sponsors, of course, are the Board of Water and Light, CATA, we can't thank you enough, Dean Transportation will be there. So it's going to be a great time. And again, thank you, sponsors. Thank you, all sponsors that bless us by giving to the Lansing Juneteenth celebration. So I want to share with you, in addition and after the parade and after we open up the main stage with some of our history, African history, the beating of the drums. So we have Salim that's coming back to do that, and he's just a jewel, being one who knows the tradition of the African drumming. So we hope to get him to do a workshop for us before that day is over. But when you come to St. Joseph Park after the opening, a lot of what you will see is the Job and Community Resource Fair that's co-hosted by the NAACP and the Capital Area Michigan Works. We've had, I think there's going to be about 36 participants that are job providers here in the city, as well as organizations and civic organizations that want to share with you how they can be helpful to us as citizens in the city. So you're definitely going to want to stop by that particular area. We have a health fair that is just going to be a tremendous benefit to all who participate. We do have some new sponsoring organizations that are coming to us, and HAP Healthcare is new to the area, and they immediately signed on.
Oh, they came on right away.
Right away. Some unique things coming. I'm understanding that there's going to be a photo booth. There's going to be like a mini health clinic. There's going to be some massage therapists there, so you want to come
including yours truly.
For sure, you're not going to want to miss any of that.
As a matter of fact, somebody just asked me the other day, is it too late to get a booth at the Juneteenth? And I said, I don't think so.
You're right.
And I'm going to do the follow-ups here. One, how much does it cost? And two, what's the deadline?
Okay, so the deadline is coming up at the end of the month, which would be May 30th. And there's so many options to be a vendor. If you're going to be a food vendor, you've got one kind of set of stipulations. And if you're a merchandise vendor, then there's also guidelines that you have to follow. But be a vendor, you've got options, because you can vendor 3 days, which is at the ball game, Friday and Saturday at St. Joseph Park. You can vendor for 2 days, Friday and Saturday at St. Joseph Park. Get your registrations in. I was just helping a young lady do her registration before coming down this morning to interview with you all. So there are definitely some options, but I can tell you, so I'm not misquoting our information that's at the website. That is the founding information, so I want to get it right. So definitely, if you want to vendor Friday and Saturday, this I do know, you get the price 2 for 1. So it's $150 Friday, no cost, but if you commit to both days, you can do it for $150.
For both days?
For both days.
Oh, that's a deal.
That's a deal. That's a deal. Food vendors, if you want to do all 3 days, I believe that is a price tag of $200 to do all 3
Oh, that's still not bad.
days. Not at all. So our prices are to encourage you to participate. We don't make money. We spend it because we like to let everybody have a good time. So we don't upshoot our prices. It's what it costs us. We try to share the burden and be reasonable. So There's no reason why you can't participate as a vendor. Depending on what you do, your uniquenesses are important. We hope that you will come and share with us on that day. So our community has lots of options for learning and growing in culture and food and fun and the music and the entertainment.
Yes.
So we've talked about the health fair, the car show. The children's activities are tremendous. I have a wonderful director that's Deborah Plummer. She is my sister, but she is, you got to put the family to work. So
Yes.
she's been there from day one, and she manages the essay competition as well as the children's activities. And when I heard what's going on with the children's activities, they're going to be busy all day from from noon till 5 p.m. They've got so many fun things going on over there. So I'm hearing that the Zap Zone trailer is going to be there. They've got a Home Depot is doing a workmanship program, and I think they're doing birdhouses or something.
Oh, wow.
And then there's a gardening show, and so we're hoping to encourage them. There's characters coming. Dr. Seuss, Capital Area District Library is going to be there with their summer reading program.
Great.
Of course, they have the bounce house. They have things to keep kids busy all day.
Wear them out.
Wear them out. But again, from noon to 5, we would love to have your children. We're going to be well-staffed. We do need volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer for any of our days for the Lansing Juneteenth celebration, visit our website, and at the More tab, there's a volunteer form that you can do online. We would love to have you spend some time with us or your entire day with us. So please feel free to reach out and visit our website so that you can do more. Advertisements are about to close, but if you have a business and you want to celebrate Juneteenth, reach out to me. We can still have time to get your ad in. The deadline is coming and gone, but if you talk to me by this weekend, I'm still able to get you in. We've talked about vendors, parade lineup. Everything's coming to a wrap for end of the month because I want to talk about entertainment.
Well, before we get into entertainment, because some people can say, oh, man, I can still get in?
Yes.
Who do they call, and what's your number, and what's your email address?
So, okay, the best thing to do, of course, is go to our website. Once you hit that website and read our information, we've got numbers that can be called. Our coordinator, we have 2 people, Joy Gleason and Marsha Cunningham. Their numbers are posted. I don't know them by heart, but the numbers are posted at the website. So if you go there, you'll get a wealth of information, and we will help you every step of the way to be involved with the Juneteenth celebration as a vendor, as a food vendor, merchandise vendor, or an exhibitor.
Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes, that lineup.
All right, so the lineup is still growing, but what I can share with you are some of the key headliner people. Okay, so we've talked about Friday, entertainment and music, but on Saturday, the first part of the day, we're going to get into our gospel celebration, okay? And so we have, for those who know, Pastor Anthony Taylor. He is the music coordinator at the Union Missionary Baptist Church in Lansing. He's currently doing a workshop, and we're hoping that some of those workshop participants may actually involve into a choir that will be coming to the Juneteenth celebration. However, he is magnificent. He's a professionalism here in Lansing, and then he certainly plays for some of the national groups in gospel. So we're looking forward to having him. So it's Pastor Anthony Taylor is our host for the Gospel Hour, and friends. And so you're going to hear some of the voices that and I'm going to leak some of those, but their whole concept of the program, some is still a surprise, but I do know that Robert Kyle, I believe he's the third generation, is going to be with us. He's a magnificent young man who sang in programs such as at Wharton Center this past Christmas. There was a special show with the Singletons, so he was part of that development. He's been part of the Divine Connection with the Pastor's Salute. We were just having church, having a good time. So both Reverend Anthony Taylor as well as Robert Kyle was involved with that. And they just do us proud to have local talent at that magnitude here in Lansing. So we don't have to go far. But we are reaching out a little bit to our neighbors, to the Detroit area, and pulling in Straight Ahead, who's a jazz mainstay in the city of Detroit. They're going to do some stuff for us, and looking forward to a Quincy Jones tribute. So that will be a part of the development of the night. We do have some other musicians that are coming also from Flint, Detroit, and so they'll be added to the listing of performers. Our keynote headliner for the evening, though, is going to be Ty Causey coming in from Fort Wayne. And so he's got friendships strong here in Lansing, so he's being promoted well. We look forward to receiving him. He's going to be our R&B main stage headliner. He's got some national hits that we all know. Can you name one?
Don't put me on the spot like that. But actually, I want you to talk a little bit about Straight Ahead, because this isn't their first time being here.
That is correct.
And what's unique about them?
So what's unique about Straight Ahead, they're all female jazz ensemble group. They're educators in the Department of Music. It's some of the various schools here in the state of Michigan, I think in the Detroit area.
Yep.
And so that's what's unique about them. They were here years ago when they performed at the Capital Area District Library in the auditorium. So it's been a long time since they've been to Lansing, and we have certainly enjoyed their music over the years. We've been going to Detroit, but we're bringing them back to Lansing.
That's great.
Yes, it is.
Now, I'd like to thank you for coming in, and the invisible man, Calvin Jones, over there, too, working hard with the Board of Bar and Light.
Right.
But this has been very informative. And one more time before we get off the program here, give us that website.
I'd be happy to. So please come to the Lansing Juneteenth Celebration.org website to learn everything that you've heard us talk about today and a little bit more. You will not be disappointed, and celebrate Juneteenth here in our region with us, as well as the other celebrations that are taking place in our area. So thank you.
Well, Marilyn, thank you for coming today, and hopefully you got some new news that you can use. This is Marcus Jefferson, host of the Bulletin News and publisher of the Michigan Bulletin. Until we see you again, keep on learning.
Bulletin News you can use with your host, Marcus Jefferson.